Well, I just thought I'd just come on live, and I'm sure there's no one here, but I'll just sit here for a few minutes and see if anybody shows up. I think Mark's going to pop in a minute, so I'll be talking to myself for a bit. Oops. Yeah, I always get a notification to say I'm live. I didn't know that. Very interesting. Let me turn that off. And this is, like I say, as Steve Donahue would call it, a ninja stream. But yeah, it's been an odd few days. Oh, there's someone here now. Hello. Mark might be joining me in a few minutes for a little while. Just thought I had nothing else to do, so I thought I'd come on live. So, oh, there's two now. So, introduce yourselves. So I feel like I'm actually talking to someone. And I think there's always a delay. Lee. Hi, Lee. Thanks for stopping by. And as I say, I just was, I didn't have anything else to do. So I just thought, well, I'll just pop on live just to see if Mark wants to come on for a few minutes and see what happens. Trying to move the camera around here a little bit. There we go. Or, well, the tablet. So, yeah, it's been an interesting day. The weather has gotten a bit better in the last 3-4 days. It's still very humid, but I still, there's other things that are happening that is preventing me from getting any reading time in. It's going to be for a while. So hence, I'll be doing videos that are either like this, that don't take much preparation, or top 10 videos. And tomorrow I've got a top 10 favorite authors. Yes. Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing. Which one did you see? Just the part 1, or the part 2? The Mark's here, I think, now. So let's add him onto the stream. Hello.
Hi. Anyone here? Oh yeah, Lee's here. Hi.
Yeah, we got 3.
All right.
Lee is asked a question. Today's. Oh yeah. Well, he watched today's one, and he thought that Nabokov should be on there. Yeah. Well, that's I didn't think of him, because I was really trying. What I wanted to do was get 10 authors that I don't like as people, but I really like their work, and I was struggling. But actually, Nabokov could have been one. Could very well have been one.
Wow. Was he that despicable?
Well,
I know there's like Lolita, of course, but did he really think that, or was it just a book?
I think there are some other things about him, but I don't know that much. But he's not considered that great of a person. I know of that. But not fully why. What's your T-shirt say?
I threw it on you because I just got up again, right? Because I was lying in bed. It's a joke. It's Lionel Richie dressed as Where's Wally, and it just says, "Is it me you're looking? Is it me you're looking for?" From the song "Hello."
That's clever. That's clever. Oh, now we lost everybody. Oh, now we're back to 3. Yeah,
he's so angry. He's so angry that I got up. He's just, aren't you?
Well, you're lucky you don't have a husky. He'd be going around screaming and moaning if you had a husky.
Yeah. I think you.
Yeah, we each need to get the T-shirts.
Oh, he's licking himself. So.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Oh, he's looking at the window again, is he?
Yeah. I'm thinking of getting, probably ordering that T-shirt. I guess. I need to set it up in the sizes though. See how we can do with that. So.
Yeah, they're not that large. Well, not large enough for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, they weren't for me. I mean, but I'm hoping I can get into it. I mean, this is something I couldn't even put on before without, like, squeezing it on. So I'm quite pleased, actually. The Fairy Queen.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
yes. Was that on YouTube or TV or something? I gotta eat something to drink. Sorry.
Yeah, I left my drink, I realized, in bed. And I'm not wearing trousers, so I can't get up and get it.
You're pretending to be Steve tonight?
Well, no, I have to say it's always been a thing for me. I don't like wearing trousers full stop, so I wear shorts generally, even all year round when I'm indoors. I only have to put them on for school, and then of course, like this time of night, I just wear boxers. Really, sorry everybody for that image, but it could be worse. It could be like I wear a thong or something like that. That would be worse. Give them nightmares.
This chair I'm in is sort of like a fake leather. It's like a vinyl thing. So in the heat, it's bad. It's like wearing shorts or anything. If your skin is touching it, like even my arm, if I'm not wearing a long sleeve shirt, it's like you just peel it off, and you get up and the cushion comes with you because it's stuck to you, stuck to your knees or back of your knees.
Oh, so after all that drama, I did get that today, so I'm happy.
Oh wow, that came pretty quickly.
Came really quickly. Yeah. Dispatch yesterday arrived today. I don't understand why, this country borders both Poland and Germany. When something's coming from Germany, it's here the next day, less than 12 hours even, it can be. When it's coming from Poland, it's saying should come Thursday, but I just don't get it. It's obviously a different way they work things out.
Well, look at here.
Rob as well. So
yeah, well look at here. It's like I'm here. Milton Keynes is here, say, and it's coming from Milton Keynes from Amazon. It does go to Northampton, which is here, and then it's very close. But lately, it's been going from Milton Keynes down to Kent, and then back up to Northampton. It's like, why are you doing that? Oh, yes, YouTube. I will have to find his name. I don't think. Oh, yeah, because it would be a neat thing. Like Tom is doing now Ariosto. That I want to do that because I want to reread it. But the thing is, I don't think I can't start it too soon. But the good thing is, even with his Divine Comedy, the videos are going to be up there hopefully for a long time. So you can start at any time and then just watch a video as you go along.
Funny enough, I was flipping through the introduction of your favorite book before I got up.
My favorite book? Which one?
Rabelais.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if it would be my favorite, but it's definitely
up there. I know, but I've never read it, so I was like, well, I wonder why he goes on about it at times. So I was just looking through the introduction. It's the Screech translation. So,
is that the one? I think I saw. Well, I didn't watch it. Is that the one that he has a few others on? I think. Let me see here.
Tom's great though. I mean, it's just he just picks really big things though. It's a big commitment to if you want to read through Dante or what you just mentioned. That's the issue for me.
Oh, is that the Confessions of Saint Augustine? I guess. Yeah. Yeah, that would have been the one. Yeah. That's the one. Yeah. I've got it there. I do want to watch it. Yeah. I just haven't got around to it. That's another book that I want to reread. Like I want to reread so many, but and then like tomorrow will be my 10 sort of favorite-ish authors, and then I don't know if I've ever did a 10 favorite books. I guess have you done 10 favorite books or?
I did, and I think it was when I first joined, and I think I got it from the Bookish Bryants. It was like my 20 favorite novels. So rather than just choosing my 10 favorite books, I preferred that because I had quite a big list. I had my top 20 novels. Because I would have to have like 20 novels, 20 nonfiction, 20 essays, 20, But I am bringing out next week something on classics, and I'm starting off by classics I want to read within the next year. So I'm starting off with the ancients. So I've got the Greeks, and then following it will be the Romans, and then miscellaneous whatever, and then through to medieval, and
I could do new authors, and just do Victorian authors.
But even that's probably a bit too recent for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you're saying the Dante's Comedy is really, it's all that stuff. It takes a while. You need to concentrate. It's like I've got is it 3 or 4 volumes of the 1001 Nights, the Penguin translation. Good evening, Gerald.
Hi, Gerald. Sorry,
I'm still alive. I have not been killed yet. I have not received death threats yet. You find a lot of us following along. Yeah. Like with the 1001 Nights, I want to do that, but again, it's like 3 or 4 books, and they're a good 1,000 pages each. So it's a lot. It's a lot to do.
Shit. Oh, so sorry. Can I leave and come back?
Yeah.
In like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm gonna have to get something to drink. Sorry. Be back in a minute, everybody. I'm just gonna leave because I don't want you all to run
Give
away.
me a tango. Give me an orange tango.
When I stand up, so so I just leave studio and then I can come back in.
Yeah, cool. You can come back in. Yeah.
Back in a moment.
Now that he's gone, what do you want to diss about Mark here? So, sorry, Gerald. It's probably a little late for your tea or dinner for your entertainment tonight. So I do apologize for that. It was just sort of, there was no planning. It was just last minute. But yeah, we were talking like Mark got the Orwell essays volume, which is a fantastic volume. The Everyman. Yeah. The Everyman Library Edition. It's over 1,000 pages. If you like essays and you like Orwell or interested in it, it's very good value for money because it's so big. I think it's about almost 1,400 pages. But yeah. So yeah, well that's I do sometimes, like when across the pond in America, when they do lives at say 10 o'clock their time, it's what, like 3 o'clock England time. So I sometimes get up and I'm awake or something like that time, and I pop into people. Yeah, no, it's really, really good. Yeah, the new Everymans, I've got tons of old ones, and I like those as well. But the new ones, they are really, really well made. They're sewn. I think they're on acid-free paper. They're cloth bound. They're well made, and they have a nice little ribbon in them as well. They're well made, and the price generally is pretty good for those. And yeah, I would say that's a really good place to start for Orwell's essays. Or there's 4 Penguin compilations. One's called Orwell's England, Orwell and the Dispossessed, and I forget what else. There's 2 other. Yeah, because they will last, and they look fairly nice on the shelf. They're a bit plain on the spine still, but they're getting nice illustrations on the front of the jackets. But yeah, but going back to Orwell, the Everyman is good for the essays, and then like I say, there's 4 collections that are done that have, I think, animal. Oh, it's politics, the dispossessed, Orwell's England, and Spain. Maybe I think Spain. Those are the 4. So you'll have I think Road to Wigan Pier in it. You've got Animal Farm for the politics one. You've got Homage to Catalonia in the other one. And Orwell's England, I'm not sure which one's in that. There might be, I can't remember what's in that one. But those are really good ones because they're edited by Peter Davison. You may recognize that name from Doctor Who, but it's a different Peter Davison, and he just recently died. He edited the 20-volume complete Orwell, which is just absolutely a fabulous work. It's the editing in it is just amazing, and it took a few decades, actually, I think, to get it done, because it was sort of started, it was commissioned, and then it disappeared. Well, they dropped him, and they said they weren't going to do it, but he kept on, working at it. Who published that? The complete Orwell. That's Secker, I think. Secker and Warburg. Is it? I can see it up on the shelf, but I can't. The most of them are out of print. You can still get some. You can still get some that are in paperback, but the hardcovers are gone. Let me check here. I'm just going to do a Google search. I can't remember.
What are we looking for?
The complete Orwell. Who the publisher was.
The Davison one you had, or?
Yeah, that I have. It's not that I had. Complete Orwell. Come on.
Yeah, actually, Gerald, the essays is it's a good price in the UK. It's 22 quid. It's normally £30, I think. So if you get it from the dreaded Amazon, it's only £22. I don't know if that's a lot, but I think if it's down from £30, it seems good to me. So.
It says Random House, actually. Sorry, it says Random House, the complete one, but yeah, I see one volume says Random House. It's Secker and Warburg, but Random House owns Secker and Warburg anyway. So, and it's Penguin that owns, it's Penguin and them that own it. So, yeah, sorry,
own everything, don't they, Penguin?
Yeah, pretty well. Yeah, the Orwell essays one, it does drop in price at times. I think I paid 12 or 13 pounds for mine, because as you know, stuff fluctuates. It's like Michael got that Edmund Goss one that dropped down to like £2 something, and if you're at the right place at the right time, there you can get some good deals.
Yeah, I just don't know if they're publishing it though still, because I think they've obviously got stocks of it, which is why they're still selling it, of course. But when I tried to order it here, when they contacted, whether they just lied and couldn't be bothered, but they said they couldn't get hold of it, the supplier here. So,
it's still on their website, I think. So,
well, maybe they just got loads of them still to shift.
Well, it seems strange because, like, if I don't know, I can't remember now. Is there any editing? Is Peter Davison edited that? Are there any notes by him or the introduction? I can't remember now. Because that kind of stuff is sort of owned and copyrighted by Penguin Random House.
Do they own this as well? They own the Everyman.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's Alfred A. Knopf. Bullseye book. Hang on.
Is there an? I can't even remember if there's an introduction in it.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. Maybe it'll come at the end. as to who wrote it. John Carey wrote the introduction.
Okay, yeah. So they got somebody else. But yeah, his stuff is more or less in the public domain now, anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you can get all his essays and stuff pretty much. But it's just the convenience, isn't it, of having everything in one go. It's like I was saying about the Barry and Stevenson book. You know, I've got all the letters probably, but you know, it's nice to have them in the back and forth. So,
well, it's like the complete set has all those essays in, but they're not together. They're chronological. So you've got to flip through and find them through 20 volumes.
yeah.
And so it's nice to have them. And then also I also have the 4 volumes. Speaking of public domain, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Very interesting.
Because I knew it was banned. So what was the issue? Was it something like, I don't know? Does he have descendants or relatives that would own the copyrights and refuse?
No, because it's just passed recently, the 70 years after his death, isn't it? So
I know, but if somebody, if it was banned or somebody refused to have it published, that would have to be like the executor of the estate or something. But
the government can say it, can't they?
the German state owned the copyright. Okay, yeah, and they refused it to be printed. Yeah, okay, yeah. But yeah, now because it's in public domain, it can be.
That's interesting.
I had heard that somebody was working on, or somebody was going to do, or maybe it's in German, a huge annotated edition of it. And you know that that would be great to put everything in perspective and show, everything. Like you just how detestable it is, but you still need that book. You need it. You can't destroy it. Oh, hi, Jules. Evening.
You know, it's interesting if you ever go on Project Gutenberg, because they have, they have numbers after the website, after the web address. So, like, each book is just assigned a number. Do you know what book is number 1 on their site? If you go, gutenberg.org/ebook/1, do you know what it is?
No.
No, it's the Declaration of Independence. So
it must be an American site.
Yeah.
Hi, Michael.
Oh, hi, Michael. Good evening.
Read that too. Huge edition with yeah, that would be nice. Apparently done by some Jewish organization in Germany. It'd be nice if that actually gets a translation. That would be good. That would be good. But to do it justice, you might need 30 volumes or something like that.
Have you read it?
What?
Have you read it?
Yeah, a long time ago, yeah. But I don't think it was a very good translation. I don't think it was complete either.
I had quite a good version, but, I couldn't, basically I ended up just going through the parts that were relevant to what I was doing at the time, which sounds, now I say that, sounds very mysterious, but it was for something at university, so nothing dodgy.
There was a hardcover that showed up here, an older one from, I think, the 50s maybe, or 40. Maybe no, it probably was around World War II. It looked nice, but I went to pick it up, and it felt like it was a feather. It was like, so it probably was wartime, and it was the wartime paper that was just like, the paper was almost just dust. It was just so.
Might have been that, or the economic situation, because would they have printed it during wartime? Well, the Americans might have done, actually, if it was the European War, but I doubt it would have been printed and sold in England after 1930.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know if I even looked at what the publisher was or anything like that. It was just sort of picking it up and sort of, when you go to pick up something, you think it's sort of heavy and you put a little strength in it. A book, you expect it to be what, a pound or two in weight, and then it's like a feather, and you go, whoa.
Well, I was looking at the weight for Les Miserables, and it's 1.5 kilograms. So,
that's 3 pounds.
Yeah, it seems like it's quite a lot for just one book. So,
oh, is that the one? Yeah. Oh, that's that. But that's the deluxe edition, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's still a paperback. So
yeah, but it's more so than I think. I don't have it to hand.
Yeah, the normal Penguin one. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. You see. Oh, no, I can't talk about it, can I? No. Well, I can't talk about why I want to read it, because it's about a conversation that hasn't happened yet.
Oh, okay. It's a lot of paper, yes.
Les Miserables or Mein Kampf? Well, both, I guess. But no, I don't know. He's not. Is it in the public domain from the English translation?
What?
Mein Kampf.
It probably would be, because if it was translated in the 30s, probably the person has died by now, you'd think. Or, well, no, but maybe not, because it would be 70 years, so maybe not.
They could have died in the 60s, or,
Yeah, Les Mis. A lot of paper.
Yeah, a lot of paper. And still, it's not... I mean, they're all abridged, aren't they, to an extent?
Les Mis?
Yeah.
No, that new one you got there, I think, is complete.
Oh, right, okay, cool.
Because the other one that I had read, which was done in the 70s by Folio Society, I think, and then Penguin picked it up. He took a chapter out of place and made an appendix to it, and then he did leave stuff out. I think that, at least in the 2 Penguins I have, there's about 100 pages or more than 100 pages difference between them.
Yeah, I mean, this is almost 1,500 pages, so...
Yeah, big words, too, so...
Oh, well, thank God. Oh, sorry. Someone put a toy on the chair next to me, and I didn't realize it. Well, go and get it. Go on.
So, what was I going to say?
Don't know.
Oh. This is why I can't read. Rabelais. Did you read the whole introduction, or
no? Someone kind of disturbed me after like 3 pages and said, "Come on, jump on and join us for a live for a few minutes." So I thought, yeah, all right then. But it seems interesting. Yeah, it does seem.
Oh, it is. It's like, I love it because it's just hilarious. He he likes words, and he likes, there'll be page after page of words or names of books, and some of the books are just hilarious. Like, there's real books with fake books mixed up in there. It's hilarious. I do love it.
Who's still here? Do we know?
There's 12. There's 12 here.
People. So yeah. Why don't you tell us in the comments, what's the longest book you've read? What's the longest book you've read? What's the longest book you've read, Sean?
Longest book I've read. Well, see, that's the thing. Like, in one binding, or that it's been split up into different...
One binding, like one complete work in one book.
I guess probably about 1,800 pages or so.
Hmm. Ready to go back to school, Mark?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I'm ready, but I might not have to go. I was thinking I have to go on Thursday, but they said to us, unless you're a class teacher, it's not that important. So we have to go. It's obligatory from Monday, but yeah, so I might have a couple of extra days.
See, the comments must have been being held because all of a sudden they're just popping up like crazy. Martin, yeah, we were discussing Les Mis a little bit, just sort of being.
I'm expecting a copy of it, Martin. So we just mentioned it, but I haven't read it yet.
What is the book for misplaced authors in September? I don't think we've decided on that yet, have we? I think it's almost a tie between Chesterton and who was the other one?
Freeman?
No. Oh,
I know. Yeah, I remember Chesterton, and the other one was someone I wasn't too keen on reading.
Let me check. Let's see if I can find the video for it. Suitable Boy. Yeah.
Sonia's Longest book. Yeah, of course. Suitable Boy. Yeah, Vikram Seth. I haven't read that. I forgot it, but I haven't read it yet.
That's got to be. What is that about? 3,000? No. About 1,400 or 1,500, I think. Well, it depends on the edition, I suppose. Let me pull up the. Which video was it? I have to try to find the video.
Got some others there.
This could be it.
Gerald's mentioning Gibbon, but again, does it count as one book or?
Yeah. Well, that's why I was.
I mean, it is one work, isn't it? So that is all right, I guess. What if you, Sean? If you'd gone for the one you said over different volumes, but one work, what would that have been? I mean, what was the title?
Well, definitely, like I see. I don't know. It got to be around 3,000 pages or so, or maybe a little more. The Proust is basically one book. You know, even though it is part of it is one novel, but it was published separately into books, but it's just a continuous story. And then also there's others like series too. Would you call those? I better start putting up some comments.
So we count Gibbon then, for Gerald's sake, definitely.
The longest book I ever read is
Les Mis, maybe.
Les Mis, yeah, that must be Les Mis, yeah. And Michael says Les Mis. I'm up to book 5 in Search of Lost Time. Yeah. Infinite Jest. Who's the Infinite Jest?
Foster Wallace, isn't it?
Yes, I think so. Yeah. Suitable Boy was over 1,400. That was probably the paperback, I would guess. The longest book I've read is the third of the Three Musketeers trilogies. Oh yeah, the Viscount. Yeah, that's like 5 volumes. Yeah.
So it's 2,000 pages.
Yeah. The Lawrence Elmsworth will be getting to that. I think it's Lawrence. I always get his name. Boring Answer, War and Peace. Yeah, that's about 1,300 in the paperback. I remember seeing a picture of Vikram Seth when A Suitable Boy got published. He was the same height as 18 of his paperback editions. Bloody hell. It's not easy trying to find a video.
I mean, you can't multitask, Sean. That's your problem.
Well, like all of a sudden, all those things came up. Comments came up.
I haven't read. The biggest probably is The Count of Monte Cristo for me, maybe.
That's a good 1,200 or 1,200.
Yeah, it's about 13, I think, or just under in the Penguin Unabridged.
That's still pretty hefty. That's over 1,000 anyway. I think it's not a short book, that's for sure.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I think I might have this now.
Yeah, I need to read more. I need to read more big books. I've got War and Peace staring at me. Anna Karenina looks quite large, but I don't know if it's over 1,000. It might just be just under. Yeah. And Hunchback isn't that big, so
Yeah, no, it's not. We've got I'm looking here. Oh, well, we got. Was it Sir Walter Scott? No, because
no,
I Chesterton and Sir Walter Scott. It was
no.
Chester. Oh no, well yeah, again, Sir Walter Scott. So there's
Oh,
two of each, but then I don't know what you got on yours. On
yeah, I'll
your
double check it. We'll have to put up an announcement soon regarding that.
2 for 2. Basically for. Oh wait a minute, Sir Walter Scott's got 3, and uh, Chesterton's got 2, or is there another Chesterton?
I'm up for reading Ivanhoe again. I like Ivanhoe. What have we got here? Going By. I don't know that one. You know it?
What about Dense Books? Gravity's Rainbow wins that for me. I've never read any of Pynchon. I've never read Pynchon.
It sounds very difficult. The previous one I was saying, do you know that one, Sean? Going By?
No, I wasn't sure what that was. It must be obviously it's a book, I guess. Moby Dick for me recently as a kid. Let's hear. Is that meaning longest, or I assume Jules? Currently reading.
No, I see what's happened. Okay, yeah, it's a problem. It's the same thing happened earlier. It's like people start typing, either accidentally hit enter because comments continue. But I wanted to say about Moby Dick. It's a book I really want to read, but I have this thing about animal, barbarism to animals, and of course I know it's a whaling thing. Is it really gratuitous in terms of the way he writes about the whaling, or is it actually done in a way which isn't throughout the whole book?
No, it does have, I guess, graphic scenes of the hunting and harvesting. But Books of Jacob looks very interesting. I think, is that the one that you read from the back? Is that the one that you read from the back? I think it is.
No, that's Book of Leaves, isn't it? The one you're thinking of?
No, I think the Book of Jacob does something like that too. Going by word count, the largest single volume book ever published in English was Poor Fellow in My Country by Xavier Herbert. 852,000 words. Wow. I should have said single volume though. Okay. Lord of the Rings Omnibus. Yeah. Kelly. Hello. Does reading
Australian, he's Australian, the Xavier Herbert. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I was wondering, because like the Strangers and Brothers series by C.P. Snow is like, what is it, 11 volumes? They're like 400 pages each, so that's like 4,500 pages right there, and it is a continuous narrative of this person in a sense.
I was thinking about Dance to the Music of Time, but the books aren't that long, are they?
No, they are short. Yeah. As compared to Strangers and Brothers, and it's about half the length. I've tried reading that 3 times, and I'm still on the 3rd book again. I finished.
I really want to read it. I want to read it all. I think it's fascinating.
I would say if you read that, you got to read Strangers and Brothers. No, it's grim.
The whale and why does it? Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
By the end, you'll be a whaling expert. Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty detailed in some ways.
Well, I read a book. Not too long ago called North Water. It's a short miniseries on HBO as well, I think, and it was very good. It's a murder mystery set aboard a whaling ship, and it's extremely grim as well. And the descriptions there were horrific. I mean, not for the whaling, but also the sealing. Killing the seals and stuff. It was pretty horrific. But the book itself was, I have to say, really good. Yeah, I thought it was well done, and it was a good mystery. So.
Yeah, for some reason, for some reason, I took a long time for me to get around to Moby Dick, but I have read it, and I'll definitely read it again. Yeah, the 12 Dance to Be. Yeah, it's a strange thing, Jules, because I've tried reading it 3 times through, and I've always got to the end of the 3rd book, and for some reason I stopped there. And last year I stopped again. But I'm determined someday to read it through. I've read through Strangers and Brothers 4 times, and I'm going to read it again next year.
Well, Michael's got the right idea there because he's doing 1 a month, and that's if they're not that long to do 1 a month over the course of the year.
That's what I was doing. Well, no, I was doing 1 a week, I think, for a while.
You set yourself up there, But if you did it recently, I suppose it was March time when you got ill, wasn't it? So you did the first 3 and then poof.
Well, it was last year, and what I got was the first inoculation for COVID, and that took me out of the picture for a month and a half or more. I had a dream about reading Moby Dick. I haven't read it yet. I own it, but other books call me.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be funny if the book itself becomes like the whale. People's obsession in it becomes something that it's staring at them all the time. It's there. I don't know. It drives them insane. But
yeah, the Dance to the Music of Time books are short, and that's why I was reading 1 a week, because I was reading it. On one day, I read 1 of them. Michael, well, great. We'll read it together then for sure, because I want to read it again. Claire, she's not on here now, but Claire read it this year, I think, or earlier this year again, or she's still reading it. I love it so much. It's so great.
It's C.P. Snow, yeah?
Yeah. The book is a whole...
No, the book is The Whale. Lynette, she's got good taste.
Yeah. That's the only, I think, book of the series that I've read, I think.
It's a great series.
What?
It's a great series.
But I think I read it after watching the miniseries.
It's a great miniseries.
It is, yeah. I remember that. It's one of the first, Centennial was another one at the same time that was good. And, what's the other one with the priest and... it was basically a soap opera thing. I remember that being big. I can't remember the name of it now.
What, in Japan, or where was it set?
No, it was in state or Australia, maybe Australia. Yeah, it was Australia. Welsh is her name or something. It was the same actor, Chamberlain.
Chamberlain, yeah. Thornbirds.
Thornbirds. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, Kelly said it.
Yeah. Somebody's hacked Steve's account.
Hi, Steve.
Let's go back here. It's okay. Yeah, I'd love to find a nice hardcover. Oh, but those Penguin clothbound editions, I've tried to read, all the stuff comes off in my hands, like the ink that's on it or whatever. Yeah, the Thornbirds. Yeah, I remember that. Those were the 3 that I remember. The first ones. Centennial, I loved. The Power and the Glory. No, yeah. Moby Dick grew on me after a couple of reads. One of my favorites now. I even visited the New Bedford Whaling Museum.
You need to go and see the doctor about that. Oh, dear. Yeah. Handle with care.
Steve disappeared now?
Probably.
Yeah,
well, it wasn't Steve, was it? It was some hacker on his account. So
yeah. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I regret it.
My eyes are bad. Sorry, my eyes are bad because it says the embarrassing rubs off, and I'm going, what?
Yeah, I bought a couple of them for the aesthetics, but Yeah, I won't read them. They look nice, but it's I think it's ebooks really.
So Steve, well, you've obviously read Strangers and Brothers, and you've read Dance to the Music of Time. Over, I know you've read both those. Which one do you like the most? Not the best written, but which one do you like the most?
You might as well just send him a link and get him in here.
Do you want to come on, Steve?
Yeah, come on, Steve. Yeah, I never wanted to read it, and then I watched Anne's video, Anne with the book, and I really liked the way she talked about it, and I thought, I should read it, and I can always skip through the cruelty parts. I mean, I think you're allowed to skim when that kind of thing goes. Steve,
I knew a guy that
you have to put it up, Sean.
What?
You have to put it up on the screen.
Sorry, yeah. I keep forgetting doing that. Steve, I'm forwarding you a link. If you want to jump in, do so.
Yeah, because I won't be around too long, probably. Maybe. We'll see. I might as well make use of the fact I don't have to go to work tomorrow, so. The new mini clothbound classics published on Thursday are better. The foil is stamped on using a different process. Plus, we see that. Typical. They bring these new things out all the time. Just when you get them, that sounds good.
Oh, okay. Like I've just never finished the Dance to the Music of Time yet. They do. It's a reading of Moby Dick every year. It's great. Yeah. You should have a link, Steve, if you want to pop in.
It's funny. It's a film that hasn't really been remade, has it?
Which Moby Dick?
Yeah. I mean, it's Gregory Peck, isn't it? The famous.
Yeah. Well, and Ray Bradbury worked on the script.
But you never saw like a more modern version. Well,
it's really small. Yeah. See, that's the thing. I don't know if I'd want to get them then. Oh, when was that?
Yes, actually, now you say that, I have a vision of him. So he's Captain Ahab, is he? In a more recent one, it must have been in the 90s or something.
So, I'm assuming it was after Next Generation.
Oh, it's not that old. Hang on, I have to look it up.
Yeah, because the thing is, they should have made fun of it in the Next Generation if it was. Plus, they did Heart of the Sea, which was based. Okay.
98. 1998.
Okay, so that could be interesting. The Heart of the Sea, if depends on how it's done, because that could be quite interesting. Yeah, I knew he existed. But the thing is, watching Patrick Stewart do it, all I'm going to think about is Captain Picard.
Make it happen.
The problem. That's a problem.
It's just checking out the cast. Who else is in it? But it was actually a mini series by the looks of it, rather than a film. Yeah, 2 episodes, so it was in 2 parts.
Yeah, I saw that, Jules. Your thing. I wanted to take a look at that because they look different, and I wanted to take a look at it. The only interesting thing about the '98 version was the rehearsals. I guess he's either ignoring me about the thing, or is he replied to the email? No, he hasn't.
Well, he probably does. He probably doesn't want to put on pants, Well, he doesn't need to, I suppose. Oh dear. No, I've got to read it then. I have to read it. I'll just skip over those bits.
Well, if you read it next year some point, I'll reread it with you because I do want to reread it again and several times. Because I was surprised that I liked it as much as I did. I kind of expected, yeah, it would be okay, but I really, really enjoyed it. Yeah, that's the problem, you know. Oh, I thought that was a swan for a second.
Oh, it's a whale.
My eyesight's not good. Yeah.
All right, Steve. If you say so, then I'll make it happen.
How many times have you
Is that
read
right? Is that what Patrick Stewart says in what's it?
Make It So?
I'll make it so, Steve. I'll make it so.
How many
Yeah.
times have you read Moby Dick, Steve?
Uh, yeah, yeah. What did you think of Jim's criticism of it, calling it garbage? And he quoted someone saying that it's what is it? What did he say? Did
Like
you
an
watch
egg.
it?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Well,
No, it was like I can't remember. 300. So yeah, it must be good. And yeah.
come on, Steve. Click on the link, and you can tell everybody on live.
I suppose, do we all have our own white whales? Do you think?
In what way?
I get it's an obsession, isn't it, of some sort?
Oh, I've
Is there
got
something?
several
Is
obsessions.
there something that drives you into madness, Sean?
I've got lots of obsessions.
Well, what about? I'm talking about the clean ones that you can talk about on.
Oh wow! So was he still alive in
He
that?
does,
Yeah.
yeah. I saw in the thing he pops in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, he's still alive because they did it also. Him and Robert Mitchum popped in and cameos for the remake of.
oh, don't mention. No, no, that movie does not exist for me.
Doesn't matter how bad it is, but it is nice to see. And in fact, I think Martin Balsam also they come in different cameos, and I think that was kind of cool. At least, probably the best thing about it, right?
Yeah. Well, the only good thing I would say.
You have me beat by 295. Well, you got me beat by like 300. So,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, Wells had a presence, that's for sure. Half drunk and still completely brilliant. Yeah.
Steve talking about himself, or who's he talking about there?
Orson.
Oh, awesome.
You got Orson on the sort of roasts that he shows up sometime on and on talk shows during the 70s and 60s, and the roasts are just hilarious.
No, he's good. I actually watched a few of these old Dick Cavett's and stuff on
Yeah.
YouTube, yeah, and he was great on them.
Well, it's always fun to watch. You could sit there and watch Peter O'Toole back to back with Richard Harris, you know, and occasionally Richard Burton and Oliver Reed mixed in the middle there. You know,
Like the book you just mentioned, that is that book you need to read.
I know.
Sean.
I do need
Hellraisers.
I
Great
do
fun.
need to get it. But like Richard Harris, I don't think ever wrote. Like he'd been approached many times to write a book, and he never did. Sadly, O'Toole never finished his trilogy, Loitering with Intent. But I really like his style of writing in it. It's really good. I got to get copies of them again. And then Sean Phillips, his ex-wife, the Bene Gesserit from the awful David Lynch Dune. She did and I think it was It must have been purposely because he had planned doing a trilogy of memoirs, and she did, but she succeeded in finishing it.
I can believe that. But I like him. He's so softly spoken. And he lets the guests talk. I hate, and I apologize to my American friends if they really like that stuff, but I really dislike these Conan O'Briens and Jimmy Kibbles. Is it Kimmels? They talk over their guests and they don't get anything out of them. And yet you watch Dick Cavett, and they're sitting there, they're kind of lounging around and relaxed, and the Burton's just lighting up cigarette after cigarette, and it's just wonderful. And watching him as well interview Mae West was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Those whalers were out of their minds at the Whaling Museum. They had replicas of the small boats they used to hunt. Yeah, it's madness. And I guess it was a hand-launched harpoon as well. They didn't have Burton loved Moby Dick and so did Cabot, but still Mark scorns it well. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it next year with Sean and anybody else.
Burton talks about, doesn't he, in his diaries, that volume of diaries. You've got, if you still got it, Steve. It's a volume of diaries of Burton, because he talks a lot. He really liked books, and Elizabeth Taylor bought him a complete set of the Everyman Library and had them all rebound in suede leather, but the individual covers. And I actually saw the Shakespeare volumes that were part of his collection. If I had enough money, I could have bought it, but I didn't.
Well, she gave him a Moby Dick bound in white whale skin.
Did she?
No.
I never heard of that, but okay.
Aaron, yeah. Absolutely right there, Aaron. Have you seen him? When he's like, and he's completely drunk and trying to dance, and it's sad though. It is sad, really, when you think about it. But they are amusing.
Well, it's like Johnny Carson, the Tonight Show. He had all, like, in the 70s and 60s and 70s, like, he had all these people, like he had Groucho, he had all the old time actors, the classical actors, and then whatever network it was, I can't be sure, they wiped all his tapes. They wiped all the tapes pretty well.
Well, it's like I think I was telling you about it. The film school, there's some big film school in LA or somewhere like, I can't remember the name of it. UCLA Film School, I think, something like that. And they had Mae West as a guest speaker in 1970 something. And they failed. It's a film school. They failed to record the appearance. They recorded it with voice, but they didn't film it. And you think that's just insane.
Yeah, well, a lot of, like, some of the British stuff is still here, because I always forget these hosts' names. But in the 70s, the British ones, they had American actors on. I remember Joan Crawford, seeing Joan Crawford and other ones. And also there was Maurice Alvey, who was a silent film director. He directed a great film about Lloyd George in 1919 that was actually never aired. It wound up in an attic, and they found it 30 or 40 years ago. But anyway, he was on in like the 1950s or 60s. He did a lot of TV, but he was part of a film show about new coming shows and stuff. And there's a lot of this stuff that are sitting in the BBC archives. Not everything has been wiped, but you don't see it. You just don't. You don't. It doesn't see the light of day. Too bad.
It's gone quiet again, hasn't it?
I think there's 14 here now, but I think it's like the comments get loggerhead. It's like and then they just all of a sudden a whole bunch appear.
That's right. We're so popular. We're jamming up the. So, oh well, it's a shame Steve's too busy to come on. It would be kind of fun.
Yeah, he's sitting here.
I've never been on a live with Steve, actually. I've managed to avoid it up to now, just like Moby Dick.
There you go, Steve. A challenge. Challenge. All we need to do is get Michael K. Vaughan, and we can. They'll have. Well, no, I better not say it. Okay. It's either Steve's been hacked or he's had a guest over, and he's had wine and calzones, and more wine than calzones. See, Steve, we're gonna make up every excuse for you, so you better come on. But yeah, I do love watching those, and that's the great internet is great. The those roasts that the Dean Martin did, and those are fabulous, but they're not PC, that's for sure. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I never get into those kind of things too much.
Well, it's because of it depends on who's on there. Like sometimes they're just amazing because you got like Jimmy Stewart, you got John Wayne, you know, and you got Orson Welles. I think Orson was on. I think one time with with John Wayne. I think they did something on there together.
Was it the Friars Club or something?
No, it was done in L.A. I think, not L.A. Las Vegas.
Yeah, it could be fun to get like 6 of us on here. It says it can take up to 10.
Yeah, but I wonder how you need Steve and MKV to talk finer points of comic book. Well, they'll be talking, and I won't say a thing. And will you be talking about it?
I don't know anything about comic books, so
because I'll just be talking about J. Michael Straczynski's comics. That's about the only ones that I know, and maybe a little bit of Moore. What's his name?
Alan Moore.
Alan Moore, yeah.
So I don't know anything about comics, but I know who Alan Moore is. Yeah.
Oh, and probably Scooby-Doo comics. Yeah, I could do a little bit about Scooby-Doo comics.
Can you do an impression as well of Scooby-Doo?
Raggy? All of a sudden, from 16 viewers to 0.
Yeah, I used to love the Scooby-Doo cartoons. Yeah.
Well, I love the comic books too, and it's like I actually found them more interesting than, I know Steve will hate this, Superman or Batman or any of those when I was a kid. 6 of you on the screen, you'll look like the oh God.
Well, Angie, who would Steve be in that scenario? Carol Brady, Mike Brady, or little Cindy? Yeah, I see Steve as a Cindy, don't you?
Yeah, just get him in little ponytails, you know.
Nice little lisp and little ponytails.
See, Steve, this is what you get for not coming on.
The roasting.
Yes.
Yeah, we could do BookTube roasts. How fun would that be?
Yeah, I was just thinking of that. Yeah. Oh, well, Steve wants to be Florence Henderson.
Yeah, of course. Alice was my favorite.
That could be an interesting thing, but it would be hard to do BookTube roasts. It would be hard because, well, when I say hard, is you need somebody that is good at, you know, making the jokes and stuff like that, you know.
Wow. Yeah, Richie Rich, that's what that.
Yeah. And yeah, oh, my local bookshop here got a whole bunch of Archie digests, and they did it, and I thought, oh, crikey, I'd love to have a bunch of those and just read. Like, I wouldn't keep them, but I'd love to have them just to read again. Archie and Jughead.
I was never big. I mean, I did read. Is it Hagar the Horrible?
Oh yeah.
And Andy Capp and the Beano and stuff like that, but
well, no, this would be in jest. Like that's the thing. It would be this. Oh, jeez. Yeah, Steve's had too many calzones.
I was what was someone talking about Gilligan's Island the other day?
Oh,
was it you?
No, I used it on my Instagram story thing for introducing Desert Island Books, but
I don't know.
The song.
Yeah, it was fun, Gilligan's Island, though.
Yeah, it was a bit boring after a while, but yeah, like we used to be on every day. I remember rehearsals were. You're gonna get banned, Steve.
Yes, Angie. Oh, sorry. Where are we?
Yeah, yeah, sure. I don't know your email address. You grab mine, and then I can reply to it.
But Angie, yes, I did. I read Asterix the Ghoul, Lucky Luke. I actually reread some Lucky Luke, if you know the one I mean, for Dune on the Range. But I love Asterix because of the names of people. You know, it was always a joke, and I often wonder if it was the same in French. You know, I can't remember the names. They've gone out of my head. Do you know what I mean, Shaw? Did you ever read Asterix? No.
No, I don't think they really. I never saw them ever in Canada as a kid.
They were great. The characters, the ghouls or whatever, had these fantastic names. Like the cook was called. I can't remember. The doctor or the medicine man was called Getafix. And then like the little dog was called Dogmatics, and then everybody had a job that kind of related to their chief.
I can't pronounce that.
Vitalis Vital Statistics. That was it. Yeah,
vital statistics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was brilliant. Yeah. And I just wondered. Yeah, obviously they must have come from the French originally, so they probably did the same thing. But
oh, blimey, there's 21 here now. No, now 20.
That's right, Oblix. Yeah.
Oblix, yeah. Yeah, no, I know them. I've seen them since I came here. But yeah, I just never Idle Fix. Oh, I love that. Yeah, that's a great name for a dog. So the impressions I'm getting here is that the two of you are like really.
Wow, I'm younger than Sean. At least I read Asterix.
Well, Steve, did you what was it called? The Damn I'm Old tag that I did? Oh, I didn't know he did comics.
No, I didn't know that either. Yeah, I haven't read enough comics, really. I find them difficult to read, actually. The flow, you know, sometimes I'm like, oh, is it up here or is it down there? Well, you know, where does it go? And it's too small. That's from my old man side now. So, well, Steve.
Yeah. I dabbled in them a little bit in the 90s, I think, some comics. Steve will like this. I used to have a complete set of the original Star Trek comics, and I used to have the Gold Key Star Trek ones as well. But I like the cover artwork. I really like the artwork on some of these. Oh, okay, in the comments. Huh? Oh, in the video, probably. Can I actually see that? You can do it probably because yeah, you do it because I can't see my own stream on my thing.
What's your channel name? 15 watching, eh? Oh, what's the live chat?
The only comic related books I own are the complete Calvin and Hobbes. Yeah. Well, like we said before, I think last night we were talking about the Peanuts. I'd love to have the complete Peanuts.
I can't see the comments. It doesn't let me. It just gives me the chat. Even when I look on, even when I look here on.
Go to one of my videos, Jules, and just look in the description. And my email's in every. It should be in every video.
Well, you could just say it. Really, it's not exactly a huge secret if you have it on there.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, it's my name without spaces at gmail.com. ShawnDStandfast@gmail.com. Yeah, because it's like doing.
You write it down there, so it's not a secret.
Doing.
I mean, I know you might not want Steve to have it, but
I would like the complete fight. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what's there? There's a booktuber that's doing the EC comics. Like there seems to be omnibuses of EC comics that are coming out now. Oh, I really would like to get those because they have, they're not just a balloon with a word or two in. They'll have balloons with like 15 lines of text in. They're really good. Like there's science fiction stuff, there's horror, everything.
I remember when I was in Japan, they had a lot of like comics that they used for school kids, like history lessons. They had these fantastic series of history comics, which was just more exciting than a normal textbook. I mean, everything in there was like good information, but it was done in a way that just really appealed to people. I used to curse my Japanese for not being good enough to, justify buying them all.
Well, I guess what are they called? The manga. Is that what
yeah, manga, yeah, Japanese.
Yeah,
manga.
And then there's English ones, but there's series of these things that have 100 volumes or more. Like, blimey.
There's manga for everything in Japan. Everything, even the top shelf stuff,
Like, do the people just like they must have artists that can just pump this stuff out? Like, is it good art? Like, I've never really looked at any.
It varies. I mean, there's all sorts of different ones, really. And they are well made as well. They're made in nice books. Yeah, it's none of this crappy, just paper cover. Quite often it is, has a proper binding to it and stuff. Yeah,
newer comics are made better. A lot of them are on coated paper.
Yeah, but these are like little books, really.
Yeah.
It's so weird. There must be some kind of lag, because Steve, unless he's gone, he wouldn't remain quiet for this long, would you, Steve? To be fair.
Oh, no. I thought something popped up. I don't even see Jules' email there. So.
Must be your connection. Death Note. Now that was good. Yeah, that is something I do know.
Yeah, how many volumes is that?
I don't know.
I've never tried them. I've never looked at them. It's just something that I know they exist, and I know people like James Holder, shows them, he reads them.
My hairdresser in Japan was really nice because when I used to go there and I had to wait, there was no reading material in English, and he bought some Doraemon. It's like a time traveling cat comics, and in English for me to read while I was waiting. Yeah, so.
Oh, so it's really short then. Lone Wolf and Cub was favorite manga.
Killer Baby Cat, probably.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. Well.
Oh, there's Jules' email. Okay. Let's
I mean, I'm 42 and I know how old my mum is, so she's not yet 70. So it could be. Yeah. No, really card. Okay, I thought it was a killer card. Okay. Well, I should have known. It's Japanese.
Are you
Japanese manga? It's going to be
really?
weird.
Really? Oh, God. I like the idea of a killer cat, but I'm not too sure about a killer cart.
Well.
Oh, God.
It's funny.
Oh, there he is.
Killer Baby Stroller. Pram.
We try and get some decent light. Sorry, guys, a bit impromptu.
That's all right.
I'll get something in a moment. There we are. Evening, all right?
Yeah, you.
All good, all good. Let me just get that light out of the way. There we are. It's a little bit better. How are we looking?
Got a halo.
Looking divine.
Yeah, I might just try this in another room. Hold on. There we are. That's a bit better, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
yeah. How are you guys then? All right?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good. I've been enjoying the live stream.
Thanks.
I know what it is. It's using the back screen, the front screen of my phone. So usually I have I've got a different setup in the studio. This is very much freehand. So dance to the music of time. And Moby Dick. What good conversations tonight.
Yeah. And now we're on to killer carts or killer baby stroller or killer pram.
Lone Wolf and Cub. Yeah, I remember. Wasn't it Dark Horse published that back in 94, 95 as the little manga comics? I remember I had a comic shop back then, and they came out with these tiny little mangas, which were brilliant. They might have been in large format comic before that, and then Dark Horse publishers got hold of them and did them in like those little editions, which were really nice. I think there's about 30 odd of them, and they're gorgeous. It's a good way to read them, actually.
So you had your own comic book store?
I did, yeah, down in Plymouth, in the UK. So it was 92 to 2001. Purple Haze, it was called, after the Jimi Hendrix song. It was books, comics, and records and toys, all the sort of stuff that I'm into these days, you know. And we had like a dedicated second-hand book dealer, and he had a shop at the back of our shop, sort of a traditional book dealer. So it was brilliant. Yeah, it was well remembered, even though it's like been shut 20 years now. It's quite incredible, really. But yeah, it was brilliant, and we used to. It was a good time to be collecting because there was stuff that was cheap back then. You know, you could get lots of bargains compared to today, and the stuff we had through our hands was just incredible, really. Looking back on it, but
it must be a fun place to work. I think always those kind of places are, you know. I guess.
Well, it was a dream. It was an absolute dream to do it. I mean, I wish it was still going, but a shopping centre came along, and we were all given our marching orders, really. And we, at the time, we just couldn't find anywhere else in Plymouth to open another shop. So my business partner, George, and me, we just went online, sold it all on eBay, and then I went and got a job at Watersteps. So I was with them for about 8 years, working my way through sort of the ranks, and became a buyer for them, like for the local like Southwest. So I don't know if you know Steve, the Outlaw bookseller. He's based in Bath and Bristol. He's got he's got a channel on YouTube. Well, Steve and I used to work together, and we were both book buyers for Waterstones, and we had different sort of areas of expertise and different parts of the country, which we used to do. We all had like about 10 bookshops each, which we used to look after, and it was brilliant. I loved it. But Waterstones was not quite, it was struggling back then in the days when it was owned by HMV. So, Steve still works for them today, but I've gone a different direction. But I loved that time, having my own shop and then working for a big chain like that. That was it's quite an experience, as you can imagine, And I've always been a book collector, as I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
But maybe I don't know if I'm as obsessive as yourself, Sean. Or even you. No one in the world is. No, but I do like the bits that I specialize in, even if it's something I don't collect. I still love to know about it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like you're talking about days.
Sorry. Go on.
The days you're saying when stuff was cheap. I remember, like I had a bookshop in Canada, and I remember vintage paperbacks. Like easily finding. Like you could collect every ace double, in perfect condition, for a song, and now, and like Lynette says, it says like collecting comics today more expensive due to the internet, and I think it's partially is it, and prices have been pushed up because of the internet.
Absolutely. I mean, in the 90s, pre-eBay, because I remember I joined it says on my eBay account, I joined it in 1998, and it had already been around a year or two at that point. But during the 90s, we would have people come into the shop with, this is pre-internet days, so they come in with their collectibles, their bag of Star Wars figures or a suitcase of old books, and you could get them cheap. But now everyone looks up online, they see what the stuff's worth, they sell it themselves, and that was, if you were a second-hand shop, that was where you made the most money, was in the stuff that came through the door. It wasn't really off the new stuff. You could make the good money off the finds that you might find in a bag of old toys or a box of old books. And those days, sadly, I think are gone in a lot of cases, But, it is what it is, isn't it? It does make finding stuff a lot easier, but the thrill of the hunt is what is often part of the game. We were talking about Richard Burton earlier. And I heard a story recently where he was after a particular set of books and he only needed 2 to finish the set. And Elizabeth Taylor found the 2 for their wedding anniversary. She got these 2 books that he'd been looking for years, and he hit the roof. He said, "You've spoiled the fun now. What am I going to look for now? You've finished the set." There's a lot to be said for that. If you're a collector, I love collecting my old Penguin books. So I've still got 7 to go to finish the first 1,000 in first edition. That's a journey that I've been on 35 years now, literally since I was at school. Now, if I was to get those last 7, well, I suppose I just move on to something else. But I don't know. Everywhere I go, I'm always on the lookout for those last few books. And if you're a collector, that's what drives you. So the internet, in a funny sort of way, has eroded a bit of that nowadays. Yeah. Although those 7 I'm after aren't even online; they're nowhere to be seen. Sadly,
I knew somebody that their collecting passion was the hardcover Oxford World Classics, with jackets basically. And this guy had been collecting them for like 30 or 40 years, and the internet was going when I met this person, and he needed, I think, 30 or 40, and he knew that he could just go online and buy them, but he always bought them when they went on vacation on holiday and going to bookshops, and he refuses to go anywhere else. He'll go to other bookshops if he's around, but he won't go online to buy them. And I can understand that. I can understand that.
Jules, you have quite a big channel. Do you ever ask your viewers about the 7 that you're looking for? I mean, because
I'm thinking of doing a dedicated wanted video, because although I've got I'd love to get those 7, but I think if anyone had them, I'd probably know about it. They probably would have emailed me. But like my friend Tim, who is not on YouTube, but he has the biggest pan website out there, ticket.net. he's after £1 book to have every pound paperback pre-1970 that they ever published, just the one. And it's like the third junior pound book of crosswords. Unbelievably obscure. And he's been to Pan Archives, he's seen their copy of it, and they printed 50,000, but it's just nowhere to be found. So there's obviously some sort of story behind that book, whether it got destroyed on the way back to the warehouse or a problem at the printers or something, but some copies got produced. And it's amazing that both he and I have been looking for that book for over 10 years, probably longer for him, and we've never come across it. So I am thinking of doing a video which is like, Jules's Most Wanted or something along those lines, where I could come up with a little list of stuff that I would really, really like, and see if I could turn it up. That would be cool. It's a good idea.
You need to head over to see Steve and check out the Brattle. I mean, he's always saying it provides, and you never know.
But you never know. I'm always on the hunt. Yeah, absolutely always on the hunt.
It's amazing. It must be, it's something. I don't have this really in my life at the moment, where I'm, hunting things down or trying to point at Sean, obsessed with stuff that way. Obsessed with stuff, hunting down books. And what can I ask? What the 7 are? Just out of interest.
It's 7. So the Penguins, I only collect them in first Penguin edition, although some of the rare wartime ones I've got as reprints. And they're it's really obscure stuff. It's once again, it's a crossword book. I think it's like the second Manchester Guardian crossword book from like 1943. I mean, it's the most obscure thing. There's just not a lot of them have survived, and that's sort of what makes it rare. A couple of them are like rare crime books, and 2 of them, admittedly of the 7, have turned up online, and absolutely terrible copies, and they've gone for really big money. Like £600-700. I'm not prepared to pay for that. Maybe 50 to 100 for one of the ones I wanted, but I'm always worried that I'll find one of them, and then the very next day it will turn up at a boot sale or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is typical.
You never know. Sean might have one lying around. He's got so much there. So
I don't know.
I've got near 100 of the first Pelicans. First, yeah. I've got the first of what is it? The Intelligent Woman's Guide to Socialism is the first.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, that is the first one. Yeah, A1 and A2. Yeah, they're the little prefix, don't they? I'm still on the Pelicans. I collect the first 600, and I'm down to about 20 on those now to get them all in first edition. But they're not mega collectible. There's a couple which are slightly more collectible than others, but I don't really know of many people who are trying to get a set of them together. A handful, possibly. With the Penguin collectors, it's like the first 100 or the first 500. I mean, I just want everything pre-ISBN, which is 6,000 books, something like that, across all the different. There's 3,000 odd in the main series, and there's 600 Pelicans and 100 classics and 150 handbooks and 300 specials, and all the puffins. I collect them as well. There's 330 of those. It soon adds up to 6.5, and that's just Penguin. And then I collect all pre-ISBN Pan as well. That's another 2,500 books. And then everything else that you see on my channel, the Door books, the Belmont Tower, the Doctor Who books, the Star Trek. I mean, it's thousands upon thousands of paperbacks. I think about 12 to 15,000. I've never really counted, in actual fact.
And you've read them all, of course. Right?
I've read. It's funny. Everyone says that. Have you read them all?
I do.
No, I just collect them for the cover of her.
Yeah, Lynette here says something. Because people, the internet is great because for people that are in places in the world where there isn't much, and that was the thing that when I started putting books on the internet was when Abe first started. Probably within a year, I think within the year, I started putting some stuff on, and it didn't matter what you put up, it sold, because there are people out somewhere that had probably been looking for decades for this, and it just for some reason, it just never showed up locally to them. And
absolutely,
and every single thing sold very quickly.
I remember the early days of Abe, and it was fantastic. Yeah, we had a big run of W.E. Johns Biggles books coming, and I can remember going through and listing them, probably too cheap to be honest. But literally, as they were being listed, they were selling. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was that quick. So yeah, they were the days. I haven't listed on Abe for a long, long time. I do a little bit of eBay, but the last sort of big batch of books I sold, I did a video. So all my spare books, I put them all together, put them in price piles. So these are all £5, these are £3, these are £2, these are like £1.50, and I just did a video, and it was phenomenal. It's had, as of last count, I think 1,800 views, and I was literally flooded with orders. I couldn't believe it. Raised about £400-500, and I got rid of all these doubles because it was about this time 2 years ago. I did buy a big pan collection. It's about £1,500 pan books. It was a guy's lifetime collection. He'd sadly passed away, and his penguin collection had gone to a library, or he gifted them to a museum or something like that. And it was a phenomenal penguin collection. But all the rest of it, basically all the other paperbacks, I bought from his widow, and it was a carload. It really was thousands of books. But the pans alone, there was about 1,500, and I needed about 500 to fill lots of gaps in my own collection. So I had about 1,000 spare vintage pans, all first editions, and all the James Bond books. It was loads of Agatha Christie, lots of collectible authors. And you know, this was 2 years ago. I'm still sat on about 400 of them that I've not got around to sorting out yet of the doubles. So just by doing a little video, there's no fees, there's no eBay to pay, no aid to pay, and you've got the audience there of the perfect target audience who'd be interested in that stuff. So
like an
I'm going to do another one of those in a month, you know.
Yeah. Do it like an auction as well. Can you take the bids?
You could do, yeah. I mean, I'm thinking of doing a bit more live streaming. So this was very much impromptu, but I'm going on a Star Wars centric live stream on Friday. But I'd like to do some more, you know, in the studio, you know, and have you guys on and have like little themed ones, like a book related one would be absolutely perfect, and I could let my book related viewers, because I've got quite a fragmented channel. I've got the book lovers, I've got the Star Wars fans, and I've got the retro gamers. Yeah, so really, I could have three different channels, in fact. Plus the people who like the book repair videos as well. You know, where I'm cleaning the paperbacks and stuff, and I have put that on another channel now. So I've got the ASMR, unintentional ASMR book cleaning, and that one recently got to 1,000 subs, so I was really pleased on that about 2-3 weeks ago. So my efforts have paid off, and my collection looks better at the same time, because I'm slowly going through cleaning them up.
Everything,
yeah. Peter asked, Peter Book Lover, do you have a favorite video that you've posted? I'm not sure if he's asking all of us or
ask away.
Yeah. Do you have one, Jules, that you posted?
Yeah, I do. And if anyone has never seen my channel before, I would urge you to go and have a look and look up one particular video, because I think it sums up my book collecting passion in a nutshell. And it's just called The Magical World of Vintage Paperbacks. And I did do a follow-up to it, so I've done a second part of it. And it basically looks at all the different series that I collect, with about 4 or 5 from each book. From each series, basically. So the Penguins, the Pans, the James Bond books, movie tie-ins, TV tie-ins, Dell map backs, you know, Collins books, Badger books, all the different sorts of series that I'm into. And I think if you're at all interested in starting to collect vintage paperbacks, that is the video to watch. And I look back and I think, oh, that is actually a really good sort of introduction to the hobby, if you like. So that would be the one, yeah, The Magical World of Vintage Paperbacks. Yeah, really like that one.
Do you have a favorite video of your own?
All of them. No, but before I say that, I just want to say I did think of something that I would collect if I could, but I think they are quite expensive. It's the old Ladybird books.
Yeah,
I've only got.
No,
I had a load of them. I've got one left from my childhood that I actually owned. Kings and Queens of England, Volume 1.
Nice.
That's it.
But an interesting way to find out their first editions of those is on the back covers. I sort of forget what it was now, but there's an interesting. It's because a lot of them look and appear to be first editions, but they're not. there's a certain, is it a certain code number or something like that? I can't remember.
Yeah, there's a real art to it in actual fact. And I used to have a couple of hundred of the sort of 60s and older ones. And some of them are truly beautiful, the wildlife ones in that. There's a series of bird ones illustrated by C.F. Tunnicliffe. They're phenomenal books. You just can't believe it's a ladybird book. But obviously the very early ones all came in dust wrappers, so that's the easiest way to tell. But even ones like, I think Cinderella is a highly collectible one, and it goes for 50, 60 pound, and that came out about 1970 in just boards. There's no dust wrapper for it. The only thing is, the really popular ones got facsimile reprints, and because those facsimiles are now a little bit older, you've got to really know your game before, to check if you've got a real one or not. But I love them. And it's funny, lots of people collect the ladybirds alongside penguins. I've found a lot of penguin collectors collect both, but I had a little run and I let them go over 10 years ago now. But you can't keep it all, can you? But they are lovely. They are very nice, ladybirds. Yeah.
I learned so much from them when I was a kid.
Mm.
I remember having the Great Composers one as well. I think that was also in 2 volumes. Brilliant. Favorite video? I don't know. I made one when I was quite new to it. I'm still quite new. I'm doing it a year. Where I did just a little vlog around town and took my dog Elvis for a walk and stuff, and it was nice. And then I've done one where I show off. I work at a school in a village here in the Czech Republic, and we have a bus stop there, and the bus stop has kind of become the village library. It was done and made by the kids from the school, and although the books are mostly in Czech, it was just kind of fun to take a video around the village and then go into this bus stop, which looks like an ordinary bus stop on the outside, but they've got it set up as some kind of turn of the century, 19th to 20th century parlor room or something. It's very nice. So maybe that. I don't know. What about you, Shawn?
That's really hard. I really liked. Well, I only did a few of them. Was that the end of the story? I really enjoyed making those and doing it. But I've only done like 3 or 4, I think. I would say those, and I don't know if any specific one. The first one I thought I really liked the what's her name? I can't remember now.
Pickford.
Pickford, yeah, Mary Pickford one.
Now we spoilt it though.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think that would be it. But Peter wants to know, like, if I was to recommend a video to someone who never heard of you, what should I recommend? Yeah, I guess anything like that. I also like the Desert Island books that I'm doing now, and those are really fun. You're going to have to come on, Jules, to do that.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, absolutely. I'm like you. I like a lot of science fiction and fantasy. That's probably my top genre. But nowadays, I don't read a lot of it. And I've just, because of Steve the Outlaw books that have been so into it, he's got me reading stuff that I'd missed first time round. And when I had my shop, we sold SF fantasy and a bit of crime. So they were always the genres I was stuck in. But nowadays, I read a lot more sort of classic general fiction, and I'm attracted to the classics as well. So, I don't know. There's so much to read, isn't there? But you've got your favorites that you always like to come back to. And I still think my all-time favorite book is probably Dare the Triffids. It's one I've loved ever since I was a boy, really, So that would be on my list, I think. But on a desert island, there's other books that you really want to tackle that maybe you'd save until you're on the desert island. So some really, really big series of books. So yeah, I'll do that for sure.
Yeah. Well, like I watched Steve, but I have a problem with him. He's interested in new wave science fiction.
Yeah.
No, I'm jokingly saying that because it is something I've always poo-pooed before in the past, and I'm now sort of, I think I'm ready to, and I am jumping into some of it and reevaluating it all. It was something that I just pushed aside, everything from about 64 to 75 almost,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, didn't you read The Forever War recently?
I didn't
Joe
read that
Haberman.
recently, no. But I do have it on the list to reread it. I did read it before, and I did like it.
It's
But
good, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah. And see, that's the thing. There are some that I do. Like I like Samuel R. Delaney, and and there are new wave authors. But it's just most of the time when I hear new wave in the past was, oh no, it was just a personal prejudice. That's all.
Oh, sure. Fair enough. Fair enough. You must the Dance to the Music of Time. I got them right here. This is that's the very first one.
Oh yeah.
In very beautiful first edition. So this was an A purchase long ago, and I got the full set of these in first, and they're incredibly valuable. They're some of the most expensive first editions is that set, and they're just gorgeous. I just love them to death. But I was very lucky to get all of them a full set. But the first one there, the one we just showed you, was a reprint in the original wrapper. But when I first started up, I picked it up an unwrappered copy for £40, and the dust wrapper that was on my other one was the same as the original. So that's how I got my set at first. But good set to get that. And of course, Penguin has them in paperback.
Yeah, in Canada, I was collecting the C.P. Snow Strangers and Brothers in first, and I got about half, 3/4 of the way. And I've always thought every so often I keep looking, and you can get some that are cheap, but yeah, it's like there's always those few that are just too expensive.
One of your
No,
videos,
Spectre, I didn't follow Garb August. There was and August has been a complete washout for me pretty well, heat wise and everything with the long COVID. So I haven't done much.
You've got those Poor Man's Tarzan books. You could quickly, there's a week left of August.
I suppose so. Yeah, if I can get around to those. Yeah, I've got what is it? Balthazar or something where
Balthazar,
yeah, like that. And then Medium John Silver, Samuel L. wrote an issue or two of Wonder Woman. Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
There you go.
But yeah, the only Delaney book I have read is, I like his stuff. I reread earlier this year Dahlgren, and I hadn't read it for almost 30 years, and I really enjoyed it. I kept thinking, like, that's why I did. Is this a good book? And I asked myself that question, and I came to the conclusion it was. So, yeah.
One of the videos I enjoyed of yours, Sean, was your one on the Everyman libraries, the early Everymans, and this is one that I picked up off the back of that video. In fact, this is the guide to the series.
Oh yeah, with the jacket. Wow.
Yeah. I was lucky. I got it with a jacket. It was only about a tenner off eBay, so I did very well there. And I've got a small handful, and they're really nice, aren't they? Particularly because they're cheap and cheerful more than anything. Yeah. And although the type is a little bit small, they're just gorgeous editions, aren't they? And really nice. And yeah, the ones that I've picked up are all from the 20s and 30s, so they're all getting on 100 years old now. And there is a seller on Abe who's got all the Dickens ones from the 1920s, every single Dickens one. I'd love to get the whole lot, but they've got £20 a pop on them, but they're immaculate. So it's a little more than I want to spend for them, but they're very nice. But that was from one of your videos, and you got out all your related bookmarks and paraphernalia connected with them as well. That was gorgeous.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that one.
Did I show the Everyman newsletter that's bound? I'm not sure if I showed that. I can't remember now. They're
no, I heard of it. Yeah.
Specifically for there was a little magazine that was for the series, but they also published something called Everyman. That was a weekly, or I think it was a weekly or monthly magazine, but it wasn't specifically to do with the book series. So I may never have shown that one.
All right.
So that's kind of neat. But yeah, I love that stuff, and I've got probably about 800 or 900 of them, I guess. Wow. But they vary in condition from really nice with jackets to really bad.
Yeah. Well, that's the only one I've got in a jacket, but most of mine are they're sort of they're like this. They've just got they're not jacketed, but they've got sort of the gold writing on the spine.
Yeah.
You know, which is it's nice. That's absolutely fine for me. And they're just the right size. It's like these new mini clothbound classics. These are the ones we were going on about earlier.
Yeah.
So these are A format in size. So the same size as a paperback, but they've been reset. So I don't think the print is too small.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't look that small.
That looks fine.
Yeah.
So I think the designer Coralie Bickford Smith, she's done an incredible job on these, and I was lucky enough to get, because I'm such a huge fan, I begged Penguin to send me some review ones, and they actually did. So I put a link into the chat earlier on, so if anyone wants it, that video's not live till tomorrow, but the link will work right now because I made it available to my Patreon and channel members. So if you want to have a look at the 12, you know, they're actually published on Thursday. You can pre-order them now. They are really special.
Just curious, like you were saying about stamping, so are they actually pressed in, or is it still on the surface? Or are they pressed in?
Well, yeah. Apparently, unlike the large versions, the printing is different. So they call it foil printing. So here's another one, the Queen of Spades. They call it foil. I don't know, foil printing. It doesn't feel as rough, or as they feel tactile. It's a cloth binding, but it's not. It doesn't feel like it's rubbing off in your hand like the bigger ones have done in the past. And they have also changed that on the bigger ones now. So they've got a belly band around them so that there's no sticker on the back. And they've changed the printing process so that they don't rub off apparently as easily in your hand. But I still think you need to be quite careful with them, basically, you know. But as books on the shelf and the subjects that they've chosen and the designs, they are gorgeous. And because they've been reset, and the big ones aren't all reset, sadly, you can see they've just taken the Penguin Classic B format and stuck it in the hardback. And that's a cop-out, in my opinion. These mini classics, cloth bands, they've gone to town, and all the books are reset. Because a lot of them are unique combinations. They've got like 3 novellas, or like they've got one out. The second batch of 12 is out in November. And they've got The Adventure of the Blue Carbuncle, the Conan Doyle short story, which is one of my favorites. And it's got a really nice, you remember the story where the carbuncle is hidden inside the goose? Yeah. And then they find it when they cut the goose open, and the diamond comes out. That's got the goose on the front as the motif on the front and back. Absolutely fantastic work she's done on that one.
Is it just that story then?
Just that one story coming out as the client. So it's very much designed as a gift book. I mean, these are all $9.99. Some of them are up to just under 300 pages. Some of them are just over 100, but they're the same price. So they do vary, in value for money. But I think if you give them as gifts, they are just gorgeous. I mean, absolutely fantastic.
I wonder if they're going to do the I can't remember what the name is, but you know, the mini books that were done for one of the royal family. There was a dollhouse, and there's a Sherlock Holmes stories that was handwritten that was put in there, and it's never, I don't think, been printed in any of the collections.
Right. Right. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't think it's been printed anywhere, and I not in sort of an omnibus of the Sherlock Holmes stories. But no. I could be wrong, but I don't remember it ever.
That's interesting, because a lot of the Holmes stuff, even the obscure stuff after, done by other authors, has pretty much all been collected now. The last thing, which was taken ages, was, George MacDonald Fraser, who did Flashman.
Yeah.
He did a short story which got printed in, I think it was in the late 70s, early 80s. I think it was The Guardian or The Times literary supplement, where he had Sherlock Holmes meet Flashman. In a fictional story, and for years that was it. It was that one-off printing in the paper, and it was never reprinted. And then, MacDonald Fraser, another YouTuber, Gary Lavisi, you may have known him over in the States. So he does a lot of paperbacks. He wrote to George MacDonald Fraser about it because he's pretty big in the world of Holmes. He said, "Oh yeah, we must get around to reprinting that." And then sadly, MacDonald Fraser died, and nothing happened for a few more years, and then suddenly it turned up in a collection. So it is out there you can read it today, you know, that particular story. But I'd be surprised if one, you know, related to the royals didn't get printed in some form somewhere, you know.
Yeah, because I think when I heard about it, it was maybe a decade ago or so, was that because they owned it, they just never allowed it to be out. And there's lots of other ones, other people, other authors that have written. And I think they hand wrote it in these little books, the little story.
Wow.
You know? So just think how much that would be worth if you could ever get a hold of that.
A few pounds, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now
it's funny though, because I was just looking at the list of the mini penguins, and we were talking about it just the other day, Sean. The Mask of the Red Death is one of them by Poe, and then coming out in
there it is.
Winter. When is it? Oh yeah, hey, there you go.
There
and coming
is,
out in spring. Spring will be Shooting an Elephant, George Orwell. So there you go.
One of my favorites. Yeah, the Orwell's.
Beautiful.
That Orwell's my favorite short story of his. I'm a big George Orwell fan. I really love that particular story. This is great, isn't it? A lovely edition of this particular one.
Is that a sticker or printed on the back?
Sticker. So unlike the big ones where they don't sticker them, they put a belly band on. These are sticker because they're going to be scanned at the till. And I imagine these might be sold at non-traditional bookshops. Just my hunch, you know, that might be the way. But it's funny, when I was looking them up to see them on Amazon, to link to Amazon, one of them, The Prophet, I couldn't find at all listed anywhere on Amazon, that particular edition. So whether that's going to be an exclusive to, say, Waterstones, or I don't know, because they tend to get a few these days, don't they?
Is that Fitzgerald's translation, I assume, or?
Let's have a look. It's this one, Kahili Gibram. Doesn't say who the translator is. This is the one I couldn't find on Amazon anywhere. Whether it was an oversight, there's a few editions of it, of course, but just not this one.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Fitzgerald's translation, because it's definitely in public domain. So
yeah, absolutely.
Anybody for it?
Yeah, but I mean, I think they're going to be a great range. I think they are going to be good, and they've hit the nail on the head there with books as gifts. They are perfect. You know? If I was still a book buyer, I'd be going pretty heavy on them for Christmas. You know.
Yeah, it's probably about the right time to get them out as well. So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, there's another 12 in November, so that'd be 24, and I think she said there's 45 planned initially. So that's an awful lot.
Each season, according to this, and so they haven't got the summer ones out. They have the list for the autumn, winter, spring. You can see what they are. Although the spring ones don't have their cover designs. It just has the penguin symbol, but it says what the titles are. And then for the summer 23, it just says coming soon, details coming soon. So we don't know.
I suspect she's probably still working on them. And there is a great video on Penguin's channel where they go to the designer's studio. It's only 10 minutes long, but you do get to see her creative process. She's surrounded by books about books. You see the old binding, and then she's got the different stages. So her design, then the metal plate that they use at the printers. Then she's got proof covers as well. It's really interesting. If you're into the design of these books, it's fantastic video.
I shared a video of her, I think on Sunday actually.
Oh, it's probably the same one. Yeah.
It was
I'm trying to get her on my channel for an interview, so I'll let you know how that goes.
Oh wow, super.
Yeah, apparently, she's so big now. You have to go through the official channels. I can't just rock up and say, "Oh, come on, it'll be fine." But
she did the other ones as well.
Yeah, she's done them all.
She's done them all.
Because the very earliest ones were only released in, the first 10 were Waterstones exclusives, and they're actually numbered 1 to 10 or 1 to 12, and they are the first printings are super collectible now. The rarest ones of all are 3 that came out in India only, and they're Indian language, and even like reprints, and they were reprinted heavily over there, go for the hundreds and hundreds of pounds, on eBay. So I don't know. I'm not fussed about what. In fact, even these ones that I got sent, not all of them are first editions.
Really, and they're not even on sale yet.
Yeah, that's right. They've been reprinted before publication. So about a quarter of those are second printings.
Yeah, so unless bookshops have ordered, they must really be going heavy with them. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. Well, I'm in the bedroom, and my wife has just said she's got to go to bed. She's teaching tomorrow, so I'm going to have to bid you good night, guys. But it was brilliant fun. I shall very much look forward to coming on again sometime.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Nice
See you soon. Yeah, you too. Cheers, Elvis. Bye.
Yeah, those some of them I think I might be interested. I don't know how much are they. Do they give a price there? I can look it up, but if you've got them in front of you there, how much?
Yeah. Hang on.
Maybe others would be interested, but we should be winding it down soon. We couldn't do another 3-hour stream.
I'm guessing Peter. I think Peter's the creator of that tag, by the way, that we did.
Oh,
name rings a bell.
Yeah. I have to check to see if I'm subscribed to him, but yeah.
You can get them on, you can order them on Book Depository even now. Oh, well, it's not going to help you. The price, for example, Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka is 314 Czech crowns and 62 halliers. But
so that is Peter's, yeah. I don't know if I'm not sure if I'm not subscribed here, I'll rectify that.
To put that into pounds, it's 10. Well, it's basically 11 quid.
That's pricey. Oh, what are they called again? What are they called? Penguin.
I just typed in mini clothbound classics from Penguin.
Mini
Little clothbound classics series. But they've got in the autumn run. They got Metamorphosis by Kafka, Cosmic Comics by Calvino, Lolly Willows by Sylvia Townsend Warner, The Queen of Spades by Alexander Pushkin, Lady Susan by Jane Austen, The Mask of the Red Death, which I think is beautiful. I might have to get that one, by Poe, Of Ghosts and Goblins by Lafcadio Hearn, which also looks great, The Prophet, which Jules just showed us, The Lottery by Shirley Jackson, Hellscreen by Ryunosuke Akutagawa, The Ballad of Sad Cafe by Carson McCullers, and Passing by Nella Larson. Those are the ones coming up on Thursday. Yeah. And then in the winter, we've got Big Blonde by Dorothy Parker, Babette's Feast by Isaac Denison, Breakfast at Tiffany's, looks really cool cover as well by Truman Capote, The Nutcracker by Hoffman, Street Haunting by Virginia Woolf, The Star Child by Oscar Wilde, Reginald's Christmas Revel by Saki, The Gift of the Magi by O. Henry, The Adventure of the Blue Carbuncle by Doyle, The Cossacks by Tolstoy, Ice by Anna Kavan, and Snow Country by Yasunari Kawabata.
See, those sound better than the first ones that are coming out.
Well, I think it gets better even in the spring because you've got Shooting an Elephant by Orwell, Territory of Light by Yuko Tsushima, Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck, Dream Story by Arthur Schnitzler, Letters to a Young Poet by Rainer Maria Rilke, Bliss by Catherine Mansfield, White Nights by Dostoevsky, The Enchanted April by Elizabeth von Arnim, and A Spy in the House of Love by Anis Nin.
Yeah, but they are pricey. Like, yeah, they're $10.99. I saw one like with a bit of a discount on Amazon. That's over 100 and some pounds per section. Oh no, I don't know. That is pricey because they're essentially the little black classics in a sense, or the modern. I've got a box set of the green modern ones, which are I got that on Amazon. A seller was selling it for £6 something sealed. There is a bit of a razor score across a few of the spines, but It was less. It was just over £8 with shipping. Yeah, they are sound really, really good. But yeah, the price. I was sort of hoping because of the size of them. $4.99, $5.99.
Quentin's here again, but he's confusing us by sneaking in under his channel name.
Oh yes. Okay, yeah, I did. Yeah, Quentin. Yeah. Oh, did you want to ask him? We were talking about this.
And what were we talking about? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We can do. Yeah. We're gonna say, Quentin, did you want to join us in our next one? We were talking about you. I thought, maybe Quentin would like to be our third wheel.
Yeah, because it's just a way of new booktubers, to do that kind of thing.
I just my phone flashed up with a fantastic comment on my where I talked about the way I save books, in a series. I don't want to read the last one. And Dave Bresky wrote, "None of us know the future. You may be struck by lightning tomorrow. Do you really want to risk dying before you read the last of those books?" I think that's a good point.
Well, I've been rationing Poe for like 40 years.
He's not writing anymore, that's for sure. So
yeah, that's the thing. I've been rationing him, but I had the heart attack last year. That might be a little wake up call. I don't know what I'd contribute with people who know things. No, yeah, just talk about your channel. We can talk about your channel. What you're interested in to get new followers. That's the thing, and it's like, and like I say, I'm touting for.
You've been reading the tale of Genji. I mean,
yeah.
I know you talked about it with Noah on his live, but you can talk about it a bit with us. It's Sean's favorite book of all time.
Tale of Genji. Well, I've read it a long time ago, but I'm not sure if it's a favorite one.
I'm just gonna say everything's your favorite book, Sean, because you probably have it somewhere. And
no, I don't have a copy here. I don't have a copy here.
I don't have a copy. Well, I have a copy, but not here. I have it in England. So don't worry, Quentin. We'll.
Yeah, and I'm also touting, as you probably noticed, if you were on earlier, touting for Castaways.
Yeah, you could ask Peter maybe to do that as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've got anybody who's watching here, if you want, I'm quite far ahead at scheduling stuff, but if you don't mind waiting, a little while, it'll get aired.
A fair point as well. You said I mean, it isn't necessarily just people who have channels, is it? I'm
going to start doing. I'm going to start doing bookstagrammers that want to, or even subscribers.
It'd be wonderful to have some subscribers on to talk about their books that they would take to an island.
Yeah,
and I did it, and I really enjoyed it. So I recommend it to all of you. In fact, we kind of bonded over it, didn't we? Really?
Well, yeah. Well, we found out so much.
We said we fell in love then. That's right. Yeah,
well, we found out stuff that we like. The same.
Definitely. Yeah.
It's like,
we really.
I didn't know you like that.
Well, that's it. You just don't know, do you? Because I'm not talking about Zulus 24/7 on my channel, and neither are you. But it was something we're both interested in. So, yeah, I would recommend anyone do it.
So, if anybody's out there that's listening, you got 12 on here now. If you want to be a castaway, just send me an email.
ShawnDStandfast@gmail.com. There you go. Yeah. It's not a secret.
But yeah, yeah. So I kind of made a mockery though of your damn I'm old tag.
No, it was to die for.
Oh, the die. Oh, sorry. Yeah, who did that? Oh, yes, the die for
5 books.
Yeah, sorry. I for some reason I got mixed up. I don't know who did the. I can't remember who did the damn I'm old tag. I can't remember.
When you know.
What?
Who was it? It was someone who was it Alan? No, I don't know.
Yeah, no. Brian tagged me, I think.
I don't know. Oh well, I think it's 5 minutes to midnight for me. So
yeah, so I think it's time to say good night from him and good night from me.
Good night, Vienna.
So yeah, so Peter, I'll track you down and well yeah, and do we have any idea what next week to get Quentin on? I don't know. Like have we haven't even discussed anything. We sort of usually discuss it at the last minute, but this we'll have to plan.
Yeah, I mean, Quentin, you're on Instagram or something, are you? Or we can contact you somehow. We'll find out. I'll leave a comment on one of your videos or something when we've done it. So
you're dedicated, Gerald. If you stuck out this,
I have to say, Gerald, yeah, I'm impressed. Well, I suppose you could go off and do stuff and leave us on in the background, you know. Well, you see, there's people. There we go. Yeah.
Good night, all. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.